you and your guys get the bush. The last time we missed them. We really need to trim the hedges.
Yeah, I trimmed the bush. Sorry for the thing.
That's fine. Would you or your crew like some Long Island iced teas or Pepperidge Farm cookies?
No, it's okay.
Nothing I can get you.
No, not from me. And even though it's because very nice, man. And when I say this, I mean no offense. Because you pay me very well and treat me very much like a professional. But I'm not comfortable drinking of that. Or even from a cookies. Because you're not, right?
Join Mug Club today for $89 annually, or try it mugless for $9 a month. Sign up at loudwithpepper.com/mugclub for the entire catalog, including 100% more of this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got breaking news coming from the Louder with Crowder team. That is shocking and offensive.
In secretly recorded conversations with Dr. Jay Varma, the city's former COVID czar, is creating shockwaves.
The former president czar from New York City was caught on tape by YouTuber Steven Crowder. On the front page of the New York Post this morning,
he was caught on hidden video posted by conservative podcaster Steven Crowder.
The video, released by conservative podcaster Steven Crowder, shows Varma boasting about violating the city's COVID restrictions.
a conservative podcaster secretly recorded him saying he attended sex parties during the pandemic. He talks about how, kids lost years of learning because of these policies that they created.
It looks like a case of do as I say, not as I do.
We told to stay home. You are lockdown. Now a city councilman is calling for an investigation into Dr. Jay Varma.
We are demanding an investigation.
Dr. Varma was a trusted voice during the height of the pandemic.
I have no knowledge of it. I find it disgusting and unacceptable.
These people are corrupt.
What's good for me is not good for thee.
Steven Crowder and his team, I'm getting chills, are moving the freaking needle.
There are Jay Varmas, Dr. Varmas all over the country, little dictators essentially in every single major American city around the country.
Shout out to the Crowder team and the work they could do. It's not the first time they've broken something big.
But there's just so many of these stories out there that Mud Cover Recovers and covering and getting out into the public.
Glad to be with you, and I really am today. I feel better because I'm fueled by rage today. With Zelensky, let's just bring up the rundown. Zelensky is in Pennsylvania demanding more money. I don't like Putin. I also think Zelensky's a douchebag. Hillary Clinton, I bet she was going to make a comeback in a cabinet position, likely some kind of misinformation czar type role. I'll make my case, and this election may be a tie, which we will talk about, because of Nebraska. First time it's been consequential in a very long time, but I say that with all due respect to Nebraska, Omaha notwithstanding. And we also have a recap. I don't know if you know this, Jay Varma, because of you in Mud Club, got fired from his job at a pharmaceutical company, or a research company, and we have an update tomorrow. Well, it's fun, but it's like the outcome has already happened. So, to a degree, is that a little bit of the result prior? Yeah, exactly. Just kind of set it up. So, a lot to get to, and of course, at some point today, you see this. Head on over to Rumble if you're on YouTube. It's a weekday show, 10 a.m. Eastern, including Friday if you're a member of Mud Club. Let me ask you this. I don't like it. Anyway, okay? But Zelensky, if Putin is a 10, if he's a 9, how bad do you think Zelensky is? I'm going to make my case, and it has to do with resource predators versus process predators, which I've had explained to me by someone who's more an expert in criminality and home invasions and muggings. Two very different archetypes, two very different distinct types that you may deal with in conflict, and how you deal with one is the exact opposite as to how you should deal with the other. I don't know what Zelensky is. I don't know if he's a resource. I know that he is at least a resource predator. I don't know if Zelensky is a resource predator or a process predator, meaning fame. And if he wants the fame and the cash and the world spotlight, and there's an election if the war stops, what incentive does he? The only incentive a guy like that would have to try and end the war would have to be inherently altruistic in spite of his own job to do it. I don't know that he is that kind of character. Genuinely comment below. I don't want this to be one of those things where it's, Russian propaganda where we're in a train station that's basically the Blazing Saddles town telling you the cost of living is so low. Not that. And I don't want to be people who are out there saying, let's just open our checkbook, blank check to Ukraine. I think most Americans, I think you watching, know that something doesn't smell right on all sides. Please comment. And the reason I want you to comment is so that other people don't feel so alone. People feel like they have to pick a team in this one. I think they're all assholes. Sure. Captain Morgan, CEO number 2, back to you.
I am doing well. The city that I'm in now smells much better.
Yes.
Not all parts, but some parts, and you know it.
Well, that's not their fault. It's a feces and monkeypox. And when you hear this, it is October 26th, Bricktown Comedy Club in Oklahoma City. One of my favorite places. Josh Firestein, how are you?
Good. I'm excited to see what Hillary's new job.
Yeah. Yes.
I heard she's already put together.
Yes.
She turned to intern.
Yes.
Finally, she can get under that desk.
Yes, exactly. Which, by the way, the weirdest thing with all that was humidor. Like, I like cigars and I like women. The combination is not something that I would think, because it's compostable, a cigar, and in a moisture-rich environment. Let's go to Sam Elliott and the Lincoln Project. Teamed up for, and I'm going to play this for you in its entirety, because many of you maybe have not seen it. And there's a reason why I asked. Sam Elliott, Lincoln Project, yes, I'm going to teamed up for the gayest election ad of all time. Please watch.
I can't believe we're having this conversation again. So here we go. You know who the candidates are. You know what's at stake. One candidate promises a divided America filled with lies and hate. And one stands for change. Kamala Harris has more courage, more honor, more guts than this guy ever had. So you decide, are we really going back down that same broken road?
God damn it, Sam Elliott, you fucking idiot.
We know strong middle class has
The promise that lies in change, and the time for change is now.
No, it literally is now. It could be right now.
It's the woman thing. It's time.
She could do it now.
It's time.
I believe in her. As a woman, do it now.
It's time to be a man and vote for a woman.
What? What?
I want to commit suicide.
Oh my god. I used to love Sam Elliott.
And then, be a man, vote for a woman.
He's not even trying to hide it.
Nothing changed. Vote for a match.
It's just completely what though? Like exactly what changed from? Like, look, I don't understand. I know we have low expectations of the women in the Democratic Party: Hillary Clinton, Gretchen Whitmer, Kamala Harris. But there's an old saying: "Don't put off for tomorrow what you can accomplish today." You can implement change today. Also, I don't know how voting for a woman is a prerequisite to being a man. It's almost like all throughout human history, it was completely irrelevant. So this makes no sense at all, but it makes more sense when you understand that these celebrities are not acting on their own. This doesn't just happen organically. I don't even think Sam Elliott wants to be Sam Elliott today, as displayed by the exclusive obtaining of the first tape that took place.
Thinking was having this conversation again. And you know the candidates are, you know what's at stake. One thing that promises to find America filled with lies and hate. And one thing that is 2 seconds, change from what? Hey, Lyle, let's take my president now.
That's what the line said.
What's taking the rest of it? My parents have more courage, honor, more trust than I ever had. If you decide you're going back down that fucking road, hey, wow, I need the courage here for the Mr. Potomac. Look, it's going to be well. Go for it. Woman. Oh, who likes you? You want me to say that? I don't do this. You want me to go up there and say, it's time to be a man, vote for a woman? I don't think that makes sense. If I say that line out loud, it'll be the last line ever fucking delivered. I'm gonna make a buck really for me. That's your name, Lyle.
Wow, that person. Yeah, that looked like you missed a real Cowboys.
Yeah.
What's that for? Like,
Don't you know, when you're out there on the range, you're doing your feet.
that's the range. Yeah, your ranch you've owned since the 70s.
Operating your truck, your sights, anyway.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a cigarette.
Wow. When you're done with her,
Isn't that supposed to be a lung cancer use?
That makes no sense. None whatsoever. Taylor Swift's reasoning was the most important issue is LGBTQ+. And Sam Elliott said,
come on, Miller time. Be a man, my man.
but fine. Okay, all right. It's of course it goes to the Lincoln Project. You had to take a break from diddling kids.
Yes, had files for Harris.
For those of you saying ad hominem, it is a thing. You can look it up.
Look it up.
And look, we're not afraid to take controversial positions here at Mud Club.
Be a man, sit down and be.
What? What are you going to say?
Okay.
You can eat too if you're not eating that. You culture on your shoes, you use paper towels, you hold it up. Be a man, switch the bait.
We're not afraid to take controversial positions, but here at Mud Club, I know it will lose ends. We're anti-pedophile.
Yeah.
So that's why I can say that about the Lincoln Project, because we're supported by viewers like you. And of course, you can click that button if you're not a member. You charge $89 annually to get the Jerky mug. You get 100% more show. You support Mud Club Undercover and Alex Jones on Fridays. Or you can go Mugless for $9 a month, and I'm not going to lie to you. Hey, we've spent many, many millions of dollars on these undercover pieces and the election live stream of the century. We need you guys to show to show the rest of the world that this is something that we all think is worthwhile, and we answer to you. So that's all. I ask that you allow us to earn your support. We appreciate it. You know who doesn't earn my support? The Lindsay. Oh, why not? Well, I don't like him. I don't like him, and I want to hurt him. I don't want to kill him. Just to be clear. But I do mean, like, you know, I'd like to play something in his path to the bathroom at night, get in the dark and stub his toe.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, yes.
But something heavy, though.
Yeah.
In a room where you're like, I'm glad I got you this for Christmas.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's in the middle of the co-op schedule. Now, Zelensky and Biden is speaking at the UN mission employees and let us know if we need to address it.
What a nightmare for the
Yes.
I don't know what the hell is that. No one knows.
AI's broken now. AI killed itself. It self-abort. But there is a reason for this. Oh my God! I looked up the pictures. He showered with his daughter. Why would you make me read that? I hate you. Kill me. I'm asleep. I will find solace in Hunter Biden's order. See what your knees. What evil family?
Yes.
So Zelensky was in the United States yesterday while his country was at war, particularly a swing state, weighing in on the election and talking crap on one half of the potential choices. I can only guess which one. It took place at a munitions factory in Pennsylvania. Here's a clip. He's very short.
I said that 400 people work here, but I want to hear my family represent you. 400 people save millions of Ukrainians. Because of the result of your work, I'm very thankful. Yes, of ordinary Ukrainians to you.
Sell us on eBay, an autograph.
Yeah. So, from Zelensky with love. All Ukrainians are very grateful to you, Pennsylvania. It is because of, and this is the kind of thing, I get that it's a photo op, that makes a lot of people think this isn't real, that it's manufactured. You know what you never heard? Someone come and go, oh, thank you, you're the chap who defeated Hitler, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Harrisburg, for single-handedly fighting off Stalin. Like, what? People, if you were to say that to people in Pittsburgh, they go, huh? What are you talking about? I think you say we can do Hitler here and didn't we say Pittsburgh? This is just pandering and him signing an artillery shell. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but your country's at war. And for him to enter into this arena and try and, it should be grossly offensive, and I don't use that term often, for someone in a foreign nation who's dependent entirely on the money from the United States to weigh in on an election that directly impacts that money flowing into his pocket. And that has nothing to do with the fact that Putin is a KGB piece of garbage. But before I get into this, look, this is where I really don't like Putin. I know that. But I'm really starting to dislike Zelensky. And it's the difference between, I had someone describe this to me before I mentioned the show. If you're dealing with someone who's mugging you or breaking into your house, you need to differentiate between, I can't remember where I was taught this, so I'm sure someone can find it. I'm sure it's probably taught someone in psychology courses. A resource predator versus a process predator. What that means is a resource predator. Think someone who's robbing your house because they want jewelry, expensive electronics, things like that. But they get in and out, they want that crime to be committed with as little resistance and as little effort or difficulty on their part as possible. They're looking for a resource, okay? The process predator is a sociopath who likes inflicting pain, who likes hurting you, who enjoys the process. These are two very distinct people who you may find yourself in a conflict with. Here's why it really matters. How you handle a resource predator, it turns on, arouses the process, and vice versa. In other words, how you handle a resource predator, give me your watch, give me your wallet. The best thing you can do is, here's my watch, here's my wallet. They don't want to fight. They don't want to shoot you. They don't want to hurt you. They want your watch and your wallet. But if you do that to a process predator, give me your watch and your wallet. He now feels like God. He hasn't had the process. He's going to have to hurt you anyway. You're emboldening him, and you're basically forcing him to move that line further and further because he's not looking for the wallet. He's looking to torture you, to damage you. Same thing. If you fight back against a process predator and make an incredibly difficult, you have to kill him, to be clear, pretty much, if you're in a life or death conflict. If you do that with a resource predator, you may now have escalated it and put him in a fight or flight response that he never planned to go into in the first place. He just wanted your stuff. You need to be able to identify the difference. We know that, here's what we do. Putin is absolutely a resource predator. Okay? He does want portions of Ukraine. Is he a process predator? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know that he likes war for war's sake. I'm 50. There's a possibility. There's also a possibility that he needs to save face right now. And it's an ego thing. Zelensky, pretty sure he's a process predator. In that sense, what I mean is, this is a guy who desperately sought out fame. His entire life, he was a middling comedian. He will never be more famous and more wealthy than he is today, and as long as this war keeps going. Elections are suspended. If this war is ended, there's a very strong chance he's out, and that brain train stops. I don't know if this guy wants it to end. And I'm starting to think, just as much of a problem the United States, not as far as evil, because we saw that wrong, but as far as food. I don't know that Zelensky really gets intentions. Not saying he does. Maybe one if he was defensible. I don't think we're getting anything. That's just my opinion, and you can please comment. Resource predator versus process predator. What do you think Zelensky is? What do you think he's
God, take
That's also a position that you can hold. Pennsylvania was close to a Democrat.
Yes. I wonder what that tells you about what the Democrats are going to do if they win.
Yeah. Well, he was flown to Pennsylvania on a U.S. Air Force C-17. Really? It was on the Air Force C-17? Oh, wow. Your tax dollars, by the way. And then Pennsylvania governor, also not vice presidential candidate, too Jewy, Josh Shapiro, joined, and he signed his own artillery shell. So that's fine.
Foreign nations participating in a campaign stuff, like Zelensky's in town to speak at the UN, which I think he may have already done or is set to do. I don't remember, I haven't seen it, been traveling. But they're like, hey,
did he wear a mock neck sweater? No, I'll bet he wore a mock neck sweater.
We're like combat fatigue looking stuff, right? He basically's like, hey, let's jump on a plane and go to this munitions plant so that we can, like get people to give us more money to give to you.
Well, and then Zelensky, by the way, also yes, it is.
An American governor,
yeah,
signing under the round. That's going to be killing Russia. That's a bad look.
Yes, it is absolutely a bad look. But the left is the party of perpetual war. The Democrat Party. Certainly today, Cookman, they're not stopping you. So Zelensky also took the opportunity to criticize Donald Trump and specifically J.D. Vance, which was interesting and completely out of line, calling J.D. Vance too radical. And then he encouraged Vance to study World War II. He did. Do you know how I know? This is basically he was forced by Democrat talking points. Ask me how I know this is basically him being forced by Democrat talking points. How do you know? Because the Democrats don't believe that J.D. Vance lacks a grasp in this region. Here's what they do. If you are a Republican, if you're a conservative, they say you're dumb. If they can't make that work, they just say you're evil. Or in this case, weird. Richard Nixon, evil. Ronald Reagan, dumb. George Bush Sr., evil. George Bush Jr., dumb. Donald Trump, little column A, little column B. That's what they always do. If they know that it's a pretty tough sell to say you're stupid, they say you're evil. They just say Vance is evil and weird. Because, and I can look at this objectively. You've never heard me say that Donald Trump is a reliable historian. J.D. Vance, of everyone on, well, first off, certainly at the top of these tickets, what I would say as far as your representatives go, would be top 1% of people who seems, well, definitely exhibits a firm understanding and quite an impressive recall as it relates to history and foreign policy. Here's J.D. Vance. Here's something you won't see because it makes far too much sense. The Quincy Institute describing the difference between Israel and Ukraine and also a little bit of history.
If you look at what Israel's doing just with the Iron Beam system, for example, this is a system that would allow America and our allies to actually achieve some parity with the people who are sending drones and rocket attacks and so forth. There is no way that we can long term fight a missile defense battle against people if they're paying 1/10 or 1/100th for offensive weapons that we are paying for defensive weapons. And the Israelis are doing the most important work to actually give us missile defense parity. So my biggest criticism of our approach to Ukraine is that it has no strategic end in sight and it's not leading anywhere that's going to ultimately be good for our country. But the second biggest criticism I make about the war in Ukraine and our approach to it is that we are subsidizing the Europeans to do nothing. The Europeans are not carrying their fair share of the burden, especially when it comes in provision of weapons and they're deindustrializing their own country at the same time that they say that Putin must be defeated at all costs. If Putin must be defeated at all costs, to our German friends, then stop industrializing their own country in the name of ridiculous green energy policy.
I don't think I've heard any presidential candidate or vice presidential candidate in recent memory make a more clear, concise argument that it's almost impossible to disagree with. You can disagree with the outcome. You say, well, you know what, I don't care. I still think that we need to go because the war is worthwhile. But you can't disagree with the premise because, again, he has a firm grasp on history. So when he says, yeah, it's going to be World War II. You know what? How about we play a game of quiz show with the two of you? We'll even let you wrap up your dick so you can play piano, because I know that probably puts you in a meditative state with better short-term recall. And understanding that, I think he has a basis to say what he said when he flat out stated, I don't care about you.
I think it was more focused on this border in Ukraine. I gotta be honest with you, I don't really care what happens to Ukraine one way or another.
You may not like it, but people, why don't politicians just talk and say what they feel? There you go. There you go. He says what he feels and he substantiates. He says what he thinks and he substantiates it. I don't know how you can ask for more. That's why they go, he's just weird. Because they can't make him out to be dumb. Zelensky didn't get the memo. Went over his head.
Yeah, J.D. Vance was not the. He doesn't come across with Sunday shows or CNN at night. And whoever has the money, he comes across really smart and confident guy. One thing that I will say, somebody that looked back and played earlier in the Quincy Institute. So you said I'm being, and then I yourself. Right. Even with this speak, I don't mind that. What I'm saying is that this guy has an understanding and a grasp that Europe has to take a role in this if they want this to be resolved. Zelensky has to look at this situation. You know what saves millions of Ukrainian lives if that's money has been lost? Peace deal. Even if the peace deal would be coming to it, it's not. I know the president pulls and goes into the office with one back and forth. He talks about it with Lane. But you got to say, okay, once it was, he said, go visit somewhere in Europe and ask for money.
Cynical, Griffin. Take
That's about the freaking war. Yeah. That's a good one. Every point when the door pulling people out and put them in a van, I feel like maybe they don't want to do this. I mean, maybe there's some resistance there. Also, you know what you've never heard? Kamala Harris or Tim Walz describe the differences between the conflicts in the Middle East, like Israel and Russia and Ukraine. Guess what you'll never hear? Exactly that. Now, Donald Trump even stated yesterday he entered into this because you have to when you have an international leader, a foreign leader, with basically a blank check from the United States government, and one party is promising them an open-ended blank check. Yeah, you kind of have to enter into the fray, and these are the Zelensky's, great salesman, and of course wants Kamala to win.
He's saying now, I see Zelensky is the greatest salesman in history. He walks away with $60 billion. Maybe. $60 billion. He wants them to choose so badly.
It's an exaggeration, but it's over. What is it? 150-ish as far as pledge, and you give it. So it's not 60 billion every time they come into the country, but they'll fact check them on that and be like, yeah, Donald Trump lied. 60 billion. Well, tell me what it is, Daniel.
You can't walk into a DC 7-Eleven without getting another $10. That's true. Loves crack. That's what people tell me about Zelensky. He's a crackhead. I'd say he couldn't. They'd say he does. So, also, I don't know if you know this.
Enemies at the
there's a
gate!
strong chance that the United States, or perhaps one plans to enter the war because the Army just removed the diversity requirements. No. Project 3. Yeah, this gets the most of us. The Army top enlisted leader has removed key guidance that required diversity to be considered when selecting individuals to serve in upper-level non-commissioned police, non-commissioned officer positions, which it suggests that war may be coming, and let me explain to you why I believe that. Well, that's because someone who we knew, our Navy friend, in a previous undercover story said that, the whole DEI thing goes away the second China invades Taiwan. If you see it go away, means we're going to war. Yeah, because it turns out you don't want shrill, blue-haired, land-whale feminist bitches when it comes to war. You want the guys you've accused of being the perpetuators of patriarchy. Largely redneck white guys. And yeah, strong black Latino, just bad in general speaking. But the people you vilified for so long, those traditionally masculine men, those are the people who you need to go and fight war. And we forget it as it relates to elections, right? But we're away from war because you're not really concerned with the draft. And you don't necessarily represent people who are eligible for the draft and the people who, built this civilization. It didn't start with skyscrapers or climate control, but they're still the men when it's time to do some dying.
Right. We need to stop playing around with this. Like this should never have been a consideration. I don't like the fact that we may have won on this because unfortunately it doesn't seem like they had a change of heart. They didn't have a flash of genius moment like we talked about. Like diversity maybe not the thing that we need to look at in the military. Maybe it's the effectiveness of the fighting force, and that's what we should go on. But I don't like it's because we might be going to war. Right. I want the result, but just not the outcome.
Don't worry, you're safe. You got the above me. By the way, this is our video. We're talking about the military. We need you. Mark Club Army. You can roll at markclubarmy.com. It's a closed circuit mailing list. Which means you won't get any ads, you won't get any news updates. It just lets you know how you can take part in our election live stream. And, if you want to volunteer or take part in some undercover journalism, we are crowdsourcing truth. So we appreciate markclubarmy.com. What?
I need to be admonished.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, I didn't want to correct you because unlike you, I don't like to embarrass you.
Stop. What did I get wrong, man?
Bean was right.
So I didn't realize. But listen, I thought this was like the Jewish space laser thing, okay? But it turns out they got some lasers, okay? It is the Jewish space laser. Space laser. I'm just like, okay, well, Iron Beam is a thing. And I thought in the back of my head, I think maybe he meant Iron Dome, but maybe there's something I don't know about. Iron Beam, there you go, boom.
I appreciate that you took it upon yourself to wear that shame.
I do.
Because you deserve it, but I felt like it's not my job to do the execution.
I was going to say something, but every time I do, I get this pushback. Shut up. And then I have to go on Twitter later and be like, see, I told you the Iron Beam's a sick laser.
And Gerald's like, no, Josh.
That's
there
the voice.
is no beam.
That's the Bronson voice.
Men, drive the moon free.
Iron Beam.
Iron Beam. Because the moon don't round. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, members, Iron Beam. That's right. And I should know what's going to be in the blue bed. Because you see, I am one.
Can't be iron.
My Captain Monroe head.
Oh, man.
Before people understand. I like to come to Japan. All right. It was an 8-5 pull up to Charles Bronson in the late 1970s. All right. Speaking of 70s, Hillary Clinton. I really think, and let me make the case here, Hillary Clinton, she has seen, if I'm Hillary Clinton, right? There's some people like that. I don't think she can be either the most dangerous person in politics or relatively inconsequential. It depends on which way the poll winds are blowing, right? Or what she thinks will give her that opportunity. I'm Hillary Clinton right now, and I'm sitting. Well, wait a second. You have to say single you can do that? And now she's realizing the Democrat Party has nothing to do with democracy. She doesn't have to go through a campaign. She doesn't have to debate. But if she cozies up, she can be installed into some kind of unelected position from Kamala Harris. I think she's eyeing it, and I think that she's actually making her case publicly as to what kind of a position she would like. So, she has been, that's just the premise, hot on the trail for Kamala. And she said that she is coaching Kamala on how to kill people. Sorry, beat Trump.
But to what extent do you offer counsel or speak with Kamala Harris about how to run against Donald Trump?
I've talked with Kamala a few times. I obviously talked with her before the debate. The stakes are even higher because he has a record. We have seen him try to abuse power. We have seen him try to overturn a legitimate, free, fair election. We have watched him bungle COVID and cause unnecessary deaths and pain. And in addition to that, he's told us what he's going to do. He's absolutely linked to this Project 2025 and all of their dark and dystopian efforts to turn the clock back on Americans' rights and the way we live.
Okay, a couple of quick things here. I don't want to have to go through a whole debunking because Trump has nothing to do with 2025. He didn't abuse power, could have weaponized the DOJ and jailed political opponents. He didn't do that. He didn't handle COVID. Democrats wanted to keep us shut down and said that they wouldn't take the vaccine even if there was fraud as long as it happened to Donald Trump. Regarding 2020, Trump had legitimate questions about the election, as do a huge portion of Americans. All right? Just so that you don't buy what she's selling. But her coaching Kamala, That's like if your football coach himself was rude, who had no business being on that field.
Why? Well, like taking parenting advice is basically what to do.
Yes. Yes.
That's your counselor.
Hiring Diddy as a party friend.
Hiring Nicolas Cage to do taxes.
Yes. Or taking singing lessons from this. And by the way, we actually sent Lane the Brain, you guys gave him some very positive feedback this week, to catch up with Hillary and asked her if she would accept the position if offered. We happen, I think we have him on the line right now.
Oh no.
Got a little too close there, didn't you?
So let me give you the signs here as to why I think Hillary Clinton, and then I'll tell you misinformation. Sorry, but the signs that she really, really wants power, she's here now. She is basically in the process. She released a book, right, 7 weeks before an election, alongside coaching Kamala Harris. The book is Something Lost, Something Gained: Reflections on Life, Love, and Liberty. Well, it's funny because she took life, she took liberty, and she's never experienced love.
That sounds like the messed up things that she did on her wedding.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you need something lost, something gained, and you need to reflect on life, love, and like, I'm never going to have such a thing.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. Her Twitter, she just decided to kind of get back on track. The activity's picking up. She's now also making a bunch of appearances on television. She disappeared for a very long time. She didn't anticipate looking like a Simon Birch lookalike. But
who does, really?
She was asked about a potential role in the Harris administration, and she just couldn't help herself. She was like, well, yes.
There is a Harris Walls administration that you would
Hold on, Paul. What are we wearing? Lingerie and a mood brooch now? Is that what's happening in news? Go ahead and play it.
Whether officially or unofficially. Well, officially, I want to be as civil as I can and would do anything I was asked to be helpful. We have so much to do that it really should be all hands on deck, and anybody who can help in any capacity should be willing to do so.
Ah, yes, that's the phrase everyone wants to hear. Hey, I'm a Clinton, and I'm here to help.
They did a little flash thing for Men in Black and like kill your family.
Yes.
That was the last words John F. Kennedy Jr. heard.
Yes, exactly. Well,
hi, Hillary Clinton here. What the hell?
Either, and as an aside, either the Clintons played a role in people dying, or there is an actual supernatural